to yet another girl. Who don't you know? You know, I'm Marilyn Green. I am the hostess with the mostest. And I am here today because guess what? I'm just going to say for real why I'm always here. It's because I care about your welfare, your health, your wellness. I do really honestly care. And I always want to bring on guests that also care and can help you. Now we're in the month of January 2026. So whenever you look at it, whatever, you might look at it in 27 or whatever, but we're January 26th, and I felt as though to have this particular young man on my show, okay, was important for what you might be doing out there saying, I'm going to change. I'm going to be different. I got some resolutions, okay? I'm going to exercise. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop cussing. Let's go and put it in there. I'm going to start cussing. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop doing all that, okay? So this young man today, he has some things going on that I know is going to help you. But before we get to that, please do me a favor. I need you to like it. I need you to share it. I need you to subscribe. Okay? I know you can do that. So, all right. Without further ado, I want to introduce to you, and I'm going to make sure I read it. I start to be like, hey, get this right. A motivational speaker, life coach, published author, course creator, Mr. Timothy Stewart, aka also known as Talk Man Talk. Timothy, how are you?
I'm doing quite well. I'm doing quite well. I love that introduction, and thank you very kindly. Every time I hear that,
Oh,
it gives me goosebumps, and then especially to have the opportunity to be on a show like this, a program that is really about. It comes from the
yep.
heart, and it's about people. Man, my business, my whole life
Mm-hmm.
is about
Mm-hmm.
people, caring,
Caring
as you
about
say.
people. And you know the thing about it, Timothy, is this: we've both been through many different trials, tribulations, pain, persecution, all that, hiccups, hangups, and it's incumbent upon us to know that we didn't go through this just to go through it. Just let me just say that we went through it so we can help others not go through it or stop it from being so painful, right? That's our whole purpose, is to help people. And I
Absolutely,
know that the things that you are doing is helping people. You know what I'm saying? Because let's just talk about it. You're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. That's a lot of work behind the scenes you don't even see. Okay? They don't even see that. You, you don't,
Absolutely. Days and nights and long hours.
mm-hmm.
But you know what, Marilyn? When we were going through the pain and suffering, I
Oh
didn't
wow.
know it was for a purpose. I did
Wow.
not understand why. How could
Okay.
this be happening to me?
Right.
Why is this happening to me? Other people are not having to deal with this.
Exactly.
Why me?
Now you know. Now you know.
Now I
Well, you
know.
know, the Bible says this: the gifts are without repentance. Okay? Whether you use your gifts for a bad thing or a good thing, they're without repentance. Okay? So sometimes we be hey, sometimes we
That's
be on
right.
the dark side, but eventually we come to the bright. We become the good witch and not the bad witch, or the warlock, or whatever you want to call yourself. You become that person for somebody. So no matter what they say, you already say, look, 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 man, look, girl, let me tell you something. I already done that. Been there, done that. Hat, t-shirt, sunglasses, all that. I got
Right.
all that. So I'm telling you from lived experiences,
Right.
right? That if you follow this, which we're gonna get into,
Mhm.
your principles, okay? I know they work. You know how I know how you know they
Mhm.
work? Because they worked on you. Lived experience. 100%. So
Absolutely.
I
100%.
know that you have these principles, okay? And I talked about a little bit earlier about January is a great time to find some principle, get some motivation and all that. Because what is the day? I think it's January the 4th. And even in 4 days into the new year, somebody that messed up.
Mhm.
Somebody that fell off. Somebody started eating a bunch of cake. I don't know. But somebody that did something. But you got these 12 principles here. And let's walk with this, okay? Is that all right? So you have a principle called
Absolutely.
you got 12 principles, right? I think I'm gonna name them all and we're gonna jump into a few of
Hmm.
them. You got the principle of honesty, hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, discipline and action, forgiveness, acceptance, knowledge and awareness, service and gratitude. Those are 12 of your principles. And let me just say something. Let me just applaud you for even getting these principles, first of all. Number two, being able to expound on them. All right? Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't do that. They
Okay.
cannot. Okay? So let's talk
Yeah,
about honesty.
absolutely.
Tell us about
And
that principle of
hmm
honesty.
well, well,
Sure.
Marilyn,
Mm-hmm.
let me do this first before we do that, so that our audience understands
Okay.
what we mean when we say
What is it?
principle. What is a principle? Okay, a principle is a law. It is a fundamental law that guides our decision making process, empowering us to live a lifestyle
Okay.
of integrity and morality. A principle is a law. And a lot
Okay.
of people don't want to understand this, Marilyn, but law
That's
is the
right.
foundation of creation.
Right.
Everything functions by law.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was created by law, and everything
Right.
exists by law. So if we do not understand the laws that govern life on this planet, it's
Mm-hmm.
impossible for us
Mm-hmm.
to be successful. A principle
Gotcha.
is not man made,
All right.
it
Okay.
is spiritual in nature. It, it is inherent.
Okay.
Principles are inherent. That means that they are built into
Okay.
creation. They were here when we got here, they'll be here when we leave. They are
Mm-hmm.
they are universal. They work the same way. New York,
Right.
LA, or Japan. They they are non-partial. They work for anybody. It doesn't matter. Black, white, Mexican, tall, short, male, female.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. And number four,
Okay.
they are permanent. They will never
Wow.
change. So imagine making decisions, because life is a series of decisions, of running your decisions, filtering
Wow.
them through these principles.
Okay.
The outcome, the outcome has to be right. Because see, most people,
Mm-hmm.
if, well, many people, we make decisions based on information and environments that we've been subjected to. If the information and the environments are negative or bad information, and we make decisions based on that bad information, guess what the results going to
Bad
be?
decision.
Bad.
I mean, that's simple math. That's simple math. It's
100%.
like what you put in is what you're gonna get out. What you see is what I'm going to do. Okay? You don't know any difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's what makes these principles so valid, right? Tim Stewart didn't create
Mm-hmm.
them. Tim Stewart arranged them based
Mm-hmm.
on my experience. And we'll get into that a little bit later,
Yes.
but you wanted to talk about honesty.
Well, no, wait, let me stop you right here.
Here's
One
the
of the things
thing.
that you brought to my attention that I
Okay.
wouldn't even thought about doing this, you said something you very profound that everything that you want to do or decision, I know I'm ad-libbing, you need to run it through these principles. You get what I'm saying? That's what you're saying. You're saying
That's right.
run it through these principles. Now I got another question. What if you run it through and you only get
That's
to
right.
number 5 and you don't get to 12? What do you do then? Just stop? Are you gonna get into that part? Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Well,
All
not
of them.
every decision requires
Okay, I got you.
running through the principles.
Mm-hmm.
The principles are like a waltz. You know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we practice
Okay.
these principles. Nobody has them
Okay.
perfect. We practice them, and so what happens is once we get an understanding of them, we begin to practice them. As we
Okay.
practice them, they become habits. Human beings are creatures of habit. So once we have developed the habit of being honest, we don't lie.
Right. Mm-mm.
We don't have to think
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
We tell the
Right.
truth.
You're right. Absolutely.
And look, now let me give you the other side of this. Because we're human and we fall short and we do slip up and say something that we know may not be in alignment with honesty. Guess what happens? Our conscience. See, that's what these principles produce at
Okay.
the end of the day is
That's
a clear
good.
conscience. Boy, let me tell you something. When your conscience is jacked up, you can't
Mm-mm.
rest.
Mm-mm.
So that's how I live. I
Got
live
you.
with a clear conscience. If I mess up and I say something that I should not have said or wasn't in alignment with honesty, I can practice the
Okay.
principle of humility and then
Got
ask for
it.
forgiveness.
I
And I'm back
got
on
it.
track, Jack.
Hey, that's great. That's great the way you interwoven how it's in the fabric of it. And it really answered my question about, man, you got to do all 12 of these. But each one of them was almost like will pop up in your life when you need it or what it is. I
Depending
got
on,
you. I got
yeah,
you. That's clear. That's
exactly.
clear. Okay. Well, tell us about the principle of honesty for real. More.
So the principle of honesty is really getting honest with ourselves and telling ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and others the truth. One of the biggest issues I had in my life was I kept lying to myself. I did not want to admit
Okay.
I was an addict. I, to me, that
Wow.
was accepting defeat. But after 12
12.
rehabs, I had to look in the mirror and say, you know what? Maybe I'm an addict.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Here's the funny part. After 12, you say all them can't be wrong. All them can't be wrong.
12.
I'm an addict.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And guess what? That was the time things
Okay.
started to change in my life. Right. When I made that admission, and let me
Okay.
give you some history on these principles. There was you've heard of
Uh-huh.
these 12-step programs, right? So they were started by two guys who were a part of a Christian
Okay.
sect called Oxford. They were Oxford. They
Okay.
had their own Bible, Oxford Bible. So they went into this Bible and pulled out principles
Mm-hmm.
and called them
Mm-hmm.
steps.
Yes. Yes.
That's where we get the
Okay.
12-step program. Well, I went back to the original principle, and now I coach, practice,
Okay.
coach, and promote the principles that
I got
created the steps.
you.
So I went back to the original design.
Okay. Principles to steps. But the deep dive that you're going into with the principles, it's easier for people to understand it when you say steps because they can see themselves moving, right? Okay? But when you have principles, it
Uh
ain't the
huh.
same. Okay? It's a deeper reach for it. It's a deeper dive.
It is
Yes.
a deeper
Yes.
understanding,
Okay? So, yeah.
and yeah. And so in my course, here's one of the unique things about the
Mhm.
way we designed the course. A parent may tell their child, you got to be honest and you got to tell the truth. Well, in that kid's mind, are they leaving them to create their own definition? How do you practice it? And what are the outcomes? So we go through this and we take it and break
Mm-hmm.
it down, as you say, a deeper dive. What
Mm-hmm.
this thing honesty looks like. What how you apply it
Right.
in
Right.
everyday life. I'll give an example. One of the examples we use in the course is
Mm-hmm.
this guy named Drew. He was told that he was going to be an accountant. His parents, um, grandparents were accountants. He was next in line. It sounded good. It felt good, but something was missing.
Okay.
Drew liked to draw, but he didn't
There we
have
go. That's
the
one of them.
courage
Okay.
to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. To tell his parents, that's not what I want to do. So Drew wasn't getting honest with himself. And we
Now.
see that
Now.
in our community. Yeah, a person does not want to
Mm-mm.
disappoint their parent or grandparent, so they will go along with what you know has been told that they should do. But what happens often, they invest
Right.
time and money for training. And I can say this, Marilyn, because I've been in college
Okay.
admissions for 20 years. I've heard this scenario so many times. I've invested time and money
Yep.
for training for a career that I hate. I don't like it
There
because
you
it's
go.
not in
All
alignment with
right.
their purpose. But they didn't have the capacity to be honest with
Wow.
themselves
Wow.
or their family.
Well, that's pretty deep there, because unless we aligned, we're going to be off. That's just you know what I'm saying, Tim? It's like if it ain't aligned, look,
Absolutely.
if it ain't aligned, it's going to be off. And it's simple. It's simple as that. And
Period.
you struggle. It's just that simple
That's that
that you off.
simple.
That ain't what you was supposed to be doing. And the funny
Absolutely.
thing, I think about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that one movie, that Herbie the elf wanted to be a dentist. And that's goofy, but it's true.
Right.
He
We
said,
see
I
this.
don't want to be an elf. I want to be a
I'm telling you.
dentist.
Right. And then you know what? Some people have a hard time
That's another one.
accepting.
That's another one.
Acceptance is another
Yes.
principle.
Mm-hmm.
Accepting who they are. And social media allows people to
Come
be
on.
somebody totally different
Totally.
than who they are. So, so
Again,
now you're out of alignment. Now you don't understand why you're experiencing so much emotional pain
come
that
on.
now you have to medicate. And that
A
medication
lot.
comes in a lot of different forms.
No, come
And
on.
most of them are no good.
Okay. Right. That ain't good for your body. Okay.
You see the
Yes, I do.
you see the cycle? So it all starts with
Mm-hmm.
what my program is designed to do. Help a person identify their gift
Wow.
so that they can discover their purpose. The definition of purpose is the original intent for
That's
the
it. That's
creation
it.
of a
Because
thing.
what do they say? If you don't know the purpose, you're gonna abuse it. Okay? If you Yeah, you're gonna abuse it. You don't know
100%.
what it's
Yeah.
for.
Abuse is,
you
yeah.
know right,
Yeah.
right, but I like the way that you
Absolutely.
have interwoven, or each one of these, and I'll just use it, Tim, like this. It's a beautiful fabric piece that makes a beautiful quilt, which is your life. Okay, and that's what I see as you talk
Yeah.
about this. It's
Yes.
interwoven.
Absolutely.
And I was asking the question of, what if you can't use all these 12, but you've answered it through all your questions, I mean your answers, that say it's all kind of interwoven some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? That,
Yeah. It depends on the situation or the circumstance, which
mhm.
principles, you can
Mm-hmm.
apply in that particular situation. Every situation
Wow.
doesn't require all 12 principles,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to have knowledge of them and know
Right.
which
I
ones to
got you.
use
I
when.
like that. I really like that. So let's talk a little bit about discipline and action. Let's go for that one. Tell me about that one. That's number 8.
Number 8, discipline and action. Um, there's no better rewarding
Yep.
life than the disciplined life.
It does.
Discipline comes from the word disciple. So discipline is required for the
Mm-hmm.
achievement of any goal. You mentioned in January
Mm-hmm.
people do New Year's resolution. I do
Come
everyday
on. That's
resolution.
it. That's it.
It's
That's
not a
it.
it's not a New Year's revolution. Everyday resolution because I understand human functionality. I had to study, Miss Marilyn. I had to study at 40 years old. I found myself homeless,
Mm.
hopeless, and penniless. I'm not. I knew
Nope.
I wasn't dumb.
Right.
I could think. I had been in the Air Force. I had worked in corporate America.
Come on.
I attended NYU. But here I am at 40 years old. I'm homeless.
Wow.
I'm hopeless and penniless. I, I had been through a divorce. I'm separated from my daughters. And I'm in
Mm-hmm.
a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at my 12th rehab. And I got mad and I hit my hand on the table and I said, God, why does
Wow.
this keep happening to me? And the response was,
I knew it.
drugs
I
and
knew it. Come
alcohol are
on, go
not your
with this.
problem.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
I say, because I'm floored because I'm having this conversation in my spirit
Yes.
and I knew this is God. I said, why? What is my problem? And the response was,
Mm.
your way of thinking is your problem.
Wow.
See, here was the deal. In each of those treatments that I went through, I thought the
Mm-mm.
drugs and the alcohol were the problem. So I tried to stay away from the drugs and alcohol, the people, places, and things.
That's
But I
right.
never got to the root. If if you go outside and you have a weed in your yard
Mm-hmm.
and you break it off at the top of the dirt,
Right.
it's gonna shoot back up. That's what kept happening. It kept shooting back up.
I get it.
Right? But when I received this revelation,
Exactly.
now I
The
had
root
the root.
cause.
The, the next thing that happened to me, I said, man, after
Okay.
I'm getting ready to read this Bible, and I started reading, and I got to Genesis, and it says, and God said, let every seed
Oh
produce
wow.
after its own kind. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now, now, imagine this. Uh, I'm 40 years old. I'm 1,200 miles away from home. I'm in a lot of pain, but I wanna give this thing another shot. I don't need nobody's opinion. I don't need no spooky pooky foolishness.
Exactly.
I need facts
Mm-hmm.
so I can make this transformation. Cause now I done got a little hope in me now. Cause
Okay.
I done got a word.
And let me just say for the audience out there, hope is number 2 of the principles. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's right. That's what happened. I got some hope. But then
Mm-hmm.
I got another revelation. The revelation was words and deeds
Okay.
are just like seed. They
That's right.
always
That's a
produce
good
after their
word.
own kind. Changed my life. I had a
Oh,
new operating system. Because my philosophy was when I was coming up, it's okay
okay.
to do a little wrong, just don't get caught. That's a bad philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of them. But when I got this new operating
Right.
system, it's like a new computer. I started building off of that. I understood that if I don't treat Marilyn the right way and I hurt Marilyn,
Right.
I got some hurt coming.
Mm-hmm.
I had hurt a lot of people in my life. That's why I was in so much pain. You're going to
You
reap what
are.
you sow.
Mm-hmm.
That's universal. I don't
It
care what
doesn't
God you
matter.
believe in.
It doesn't matter. It's a law.
That's a law.
It's definitely a law.
That's a
It's
law.
it's a principle. It's a law. And so in your curriculum, I mean I can
And
tell the audience here. I got the one book, "Free Yourself from Yourself," which is Timothy Stewart, and it's talking about the principles for addiction recovery. This fail proof. I love that. And so the principles that's in this book, excuse me, I believe and I know that you've taken it even to a deeper dive, almost with a different type of target audience, somewhat, I'm thinking. And
that's
that's what you're
exactly what I
doing
did.
now. So in other words, anybody, okay, can get this information from you and help. I mean, what, kids, adults, anybody, lottie dottie.
Anybody. But the the target for my
Mm-hmm.
course, Unlock Your Greatness, 12 Keys to Successful College Life and Beyond, is targeted for those
Okay.
like in 15 to 25. Because 15-year-olds are
Mm-hmm.
getting ready, even younger. You can start
Yep.
training these principles at 5, but they're getting ready to make a decision
Right.
on going to college. They're trying to figure out what they should be doing. You know, we have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
unrest in our society today. We got a lot of
Mm-hmm.
young people killing one another. Do you know
Nope.
why? People think it's about the drugs. They think it's about the environment. That's not true.
Yeah.
Those are symptoms of the problem. Like drugs and alcohol was a symptom
Right.
of my bad thinking. Our society creates a lot of programs
Mm-hmm.
to address the symptom
Right.
and not the problem. The root cause of why one individual would kill another individual is because they
Right.
don't know their value. You can't unknow your
That's right.
value
It's
if you
all
don't know your
together.
purpose.
It's all together.
It all stuff. So once I discover my purpose and I understand my value, I know why I'm here.
Right.
I have a sense of
Right.
significance. It's my source of value. Then
Mm-hmm.
I can know your value,
That's right.
and I won't kill you. I won't hurt you.
Wow.
I won't mistreat you.
Wow.
I won't cheat on my wife.
That's right.
Huh?
It's for everybody.
Huh? I won't steal. I won't steal money and embezzle money from my
Okay.
company, thinking I'm not gonna get caught. I won't get in a political seat
Mm-hmm.
doing deceitful things, being one way on Monday
Right.
and
Right.
somebody else on Sunday. I will. We talked about this. I will
Exactly.
become a person of integrity.
Exactly. Let's
Now,
give a difference
you
between
want to know the
honesty
difference.
and integrity. Uh-huh. I do.
You said, yeah. You said at the
I
beginning. You
did.
said
I
I
did. I
thought about
did.
that one. I was
I
like,
did little
what is
I did little check marks between the ones
that?
I wanted. I skipped over that one because I said honesty is the same as integrity. And then for the audience to know we were talking about that behind the scenes, okay? And he said he's going to explain the difference between honesty and integrity. Or another word, living an integrous life.
So
Okay. So tell us about that.
yes. So honesty is telling myself and others, being honest, telling
Mm-hmm.
myself and others the truth. Integrity is a different word. It
Okay.
comes from the word integrated. You remember how we used to get our cable,
Uh-huh. A
internet,
bundle.
A
A bundle,
telephone bill on
a
one
bundle.
bill,
Okay.
a bundle. That's what integrity is. It means that my thoughts, my words, and my actions are
Right.
one. They are the same,
They are.
integrated. Do you know that word? Do you know what that word
That's
is
what?
also translated in the Bible?
Wow.
Holy.
Wow. Wow.
Holy. It ain't about no collar being turned backwards. Or how many people? It ain't about no long robe. And
You're not.
I'm
I
not
got you.
making fun of those roles. I'm just saying, do you operate with integrity? How
Right.
many people is up
Exactly.
under that dress?
I follow you. I follow exactly. So, I mean, but so that's good because for me and for our time on this podcast, I think that you've done a beautiful job, really, really explaining how your curriculum, really is going to help you. Okay. I mean, right now and stuff, I've been helped already, and I ain't took the curriculum, but still, I'm understanding some things a little bit better, even though I have the operating system of honesty, integrity, and all this. I do have that type of operating system, but I understand that
Right.
integrity, okay, and honesty, and all those different things that I exercise is talking about a wonderful character, okay? It's getting
Woo!
it's building
Building
character. And
character.
once you get that character,
That's right.
everything goes straight back there. You start saying, no, I can't do that. Okay, I can't do this. Everything it's just wrapped
That's
around
right.
you to say, oh no, this
It,
is
it,
this is dishonest. I can't do this.
you know, this is another way I explain it. This program and these principles represent the most powerful government
Okay.
on the planet. It's not democracy. It's not monarchy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Republican.
That's it.
It's self government. It's the most powerful government on the planet. A person who governs himself
They do not. They
doesn't
do
need
not. They do
policing.
not. They do not need policing. And I think I said that in one of my quotes about you need to get a hold of yourself. That's basically what I'm saying. Okay. Get a hold of yourself because you're running crazy about right now. You're somewhere. You done ran off the road with what you thinking, and you know it's wrong.
Marilyn, I got to tell you this. You just made me think about my nana. My nana was that person
Right.
who never let me go. My mom and my
Mm-hmm.
dad and my family, they love me. They didn't understand how could you be so intelligent and
Yeah.
be so jacked up. But my nana, she,
Mm-hmm.
with tears in her eyes, she said, "Boy, you're killing yourself." I used to drink Listerine
Wow.
because I didn't have enough money to buy beer,
I got you.
bottles of it, and I take no medication. I take no medication today.
Woo! I get it. Trust and believe. I get it. You know, but it's always going to be one person, Tim. It's always going to be one
But she would
person that's
say,
going to hang with you. It's going to be one person.
God's gonna bring you out. But what she said reminded me of what she used to tell me all the time. Now she would pray for me. She loved me, but she would say, "Boy, you need to get yourself
Okay?
together."
You need to get yourself together. That's it. So yeah. Yeah, wow. So hey, we got a few more minutes on this podcast here.
Yeah.
So tell us something. Let me see what you wrote on my piece of paper. Something profound. Let's see here. Okay, so you said one of your positive messages was you talked about your course already. You know, um, that there is no substitute for purpose. All right. Tell us a little bit about
No
that.
substitute for purpose.
You kind of talked about it all earlier, but that's
Everything and
what you
everybody.
said.
Yeah. Every everything and
Hmm.
everybody was created for a purpose. Period. And there's no substitute for purpose. And if a person never discovers their purpose, guess what the opposite is?
I'm scared to say abuse. Yeah, I said that. It's about
Abuse.
abuse. You abuse
Ab-
yourself.
yeah. It's abuse. Yeah, you abuse yourself. So that's why we see a lot of people in a lot of emotional pain because they have not discovered how they function. They don't know the marriage, the
It is.
divorce rate is over 50%. Well, society says sex and money is the number one and two reasons. That's not the reason for
Uh huh.
divorce. Those are symptoms. The reason for divorce is
Come
most
on.
people don't understand the purpose of it.
Mm-hmm.
People get married for the benefits, children, companionship, intimacy, finances, but
Right.
they never understand the purpose.
Okay.
It's to help eliminate weaknesses.
It is a
It's a
covenant.
covenant. It's not a contract. So that's that's just a different mindset. Love is not a reason to marry
It's a
somebody.
benefit.
It's a
And you know
benefit.
what? I appreciate you saying that because one of my upcoming podcasts is gonna be what love got to do with it. Okay? What love got to do with it? Okay? I'm telling y'all a sneak preview ahead of time that I am going to do that because you're
I'm
gonna have to
definitely
see
watching
that
this
show
show.
because it's about relationships. It's about different things that's going on with relationships now. I mean, I won't get all the way in it, but nevertheless, I agree that there is no substitute for purpose. Once you find your purpose, that's how it happens.
Here's
And you know what, Tim? I thank you so much for coming on and talking about, I mean, the way that you how would I say, formatted it and talked about it. I can see people wanting to say, I want to hear more. Okay. I want to hear more about this, because you've taken the
yeah,
time to do that curriculum. You've taken the time you've shown yourself what's that, approved, okay, that you've done the work, a workman, you know
a
what I'm saying.
workman.
But I appreciate you coming on
Yeah,
today, and
yeah, absolutely,
all the best in what you do because your passion is there, and I believe that you do love people enough to say, I want you to get to your
absolutely.
purpose, okay.
Let me share this. When I like I said in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea why I was going through what I went through. My friends didn't get addicted to drugs and alcohol. They used drugs and alcohol right beside me, but they didn't get addicted. They didn't lose their families. They didn't do, the things that I did. But now I understand because I can take my life and experience
Mm-hmm.
and speak to people who are there. You said this in the beginning.
Yep.
Why should I listen
We
to
were
you?
behind the scenes, but I said, people gonna want to
You
know, Tim, why I'm gonna listen to you, and you've already told them without me even asking the question.
yeah. And so now I understand that the knowledge and experience I have, if I can help others avoid the pain,
That's
then
it.
it makes everything
That's
I went through
exactly
worth
right.
it.
That's purpose. And I
That's
think
purpose.
about this platform that I've had, and I told somebody this day, I said, I mean, last year and stuff, I
Yes.
was quitting I quit 3 times a day. I would just quit. I'm like, Tim, I'll be like, I can't do this. I don't
I've
want to
been
do, I
I
quit
know
three
the
times a
feeling.
day.
I
Okay.
know.
But you know what I'm saying?
I
It's
know.
the
I've
life
been
of an
there. I've been
entrepreneur
there.
because you just get tired. That's a whole nother different
It is,
show.
man.
But I quit
Wow.
3 times a day.
See,
You
that's
know?
transparency.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's honest. That's honest. And that's there's somebody else
yeah,
yeah, there's somebody else that's going through that same thing. And now they can say,
no,
hey, I'm
I
not
quit.
alone. Somebody else quit.
That's
So
it.
now
That's
I
it.
get some identification.
I'm still
But
I'm
guess
still
what? Here
doing it
you are.
because I understand my purpose. If I didn't understand my purpose, I wouldn't have nothing to hang on to when I go through that little
You
bitty
quit.
bout of depression, or I quit at a breakfast time, lunch, and dinner. I quit every time, 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? But because I do know my purpose, and that's what your curriculum does, is that you lead them to their purpose so they can say, I got it. I
Yes.
understand. Okay.
And then and then we teach them 12 principles to protect that purpose, because we've seen people in our society who discover their gift, identify their gift, discover their purpose, like Marvin Gaye,
Uh-huh.
um, like Whitney Houston, like Prince, Michael Jackson, but they didn't have the 12
Come
principles
on.
to protect it,
That's right.
and
That's
their
right.
gift
And those are
destroyed them.
just a few that you name that we everybody could understand, right? But no, but hey, let me tell you something, Tim. I know my son gonna talk about me bad. He's like, Mom, I told you to cut it off. I told you. I know he gonna fuss at I know he gonna fuss at me, but this is good real talk about life and how you do go through lifing,
Yes,
but you don't have to let the life take you all
yes,
the way out. And that's exactly what your curriculum is
that's good stuff.
designed to allow you not to keep on going down the same road. Okay. But I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you. You
That's
you
right.
really, really did show your resume as saying, look, I've been in 12 rehabs. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Don't even try it. Okay. Right? But you know what
Been
I'm
there.
saying? But I'm so happy that you're here
That's right.
today talking about what you did, okay? And how purpose is being done
Hmm.
now in your life, bottom line. Okay? So, yeah. So, thank you, Mr. Tim. I appreciate you.
Yes,
Hey,
ma'am.
I appreciate Hey, you
All
guys, let
right.
me tell
Thank
you
you.
something. You guys have
I
been listening
appreciate
to
you.
Girl Who Don't You Know. You know I'm Marilyn Green. I am the THEE hostess with the mostest. And hey, you guys need to like, subscribe, and all that other stuff. You know what you do. Okay. So until next time, thank you so very much. Take care.